All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the World Sports and Entertainment Network. I'm your host, DB Love. This is the World Football Alliance playoff coverage. This week, we are bringing you the Wildcard round, first round playoff games. Tonight, we are in the United Division with the last two playoff games before moving on to the second round. Winner moves on, loser goes home. Let's start things off. First wild card game tonight will be San Antonio Dreadnoughts and the Salt Lake City Pioneers. Here's the highlights.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the World Football Alliance. We are in the United Division wild card weekend, kicking off the United Division playoffs here. Salt Lake City Pioneers taking on the San Antonio Dreadnoughts. Teams getting ready. Let's get this playoff battle underway. And we start things off here, opening drive of the football game. San Antonio have marched down the field, led by quarterback Ashton Sater. He has went 4 for 4 on this drive. Also on a third down, he scrambled for a first down, 18-yard carry. San Antonio down now and get into the end zone. Sater tosses it to the running back, who gets into the end zone to open the scoring in this United Division playoff wildcard game. Early 7-0 lead for the Dreadnoughts. What a play here by the Salt Lake City defense. After having to punt on their first drive, San Antonio get the ball back. Linebacker Butkus comes through, drills the running back, forces a fumble, scoops up his own fumble, and gets Salt Lake City the football. There will be a booth review. Hold what you've got, folks. Let's see what the refs say. If he was down, looks like he may have been down. This could be a huge break for San Antonio and a huge tough break for the Pioneers. Let's see. Here's the call. And they rule that he was down by contact. Tough break there for the Pioneers. Outstanding break for the Dreadnoughts. Austin Shader there scrambles for a second time today. That'll bring up a 3rd and 2. San Antonio still with the ball. We now jump ahead to the end of the second quarter. Both teams have exchanged field goals up to this point following the opening San Antonio touchdown. And here inside of the final minute of the second quarter, San Antonio find the end zone for a second time. Ashton Sater, who's having a good first half, hits the receiver Fisher for a touchdown to make it 20-3 heading towards halftime. And that brings us to halftime. Salt Lake City add a second field goal there at the end of the half to make it 20-6 your halftime score. San Antonio lead. They open the scoring here. Backup running back Millie took the pitch, got into the end zone. On the first drive of the game, it was all field goals from there. There was the questionable fumble that was overturned. It wasn't questionable. Good call by the refs to get that play right. That was an important play. Outstanding athletic play by Butkus for Salt Lake City. The running back was just down before he fumbled. Both teams would simply add field goals there until late in the second when Ashton Sater, who's had a great first half, hit Fisher. Let's get to the third quarter. And into the second half now. San Antonio attempting a field goal. It is blocked there by Salt Lake City, who will take over the football. Interesting note, there you see him It's the backup quarterback for Salt Lake City now in the game. Starting quarterback Rocco Ringer was injured last drive. Backup quarterback Goodman remains in the game. Big play here for San Antonio in the fourth quarter. Salt Lake City quarterback Ross Goodman, who's still in the game, he's the backup quarterback, hit Pierre Crowder with a nice pass and completion. Crowder was then hit. Here you see it, nice move, gets hit, sandwiched between Rafe Eagles and another defender, fumbles the football, recovered by San Antonio, who returned it a good ways down the field. San Antonio with the lead and the football into the fourth quarter of this playoff game. And 2 plays after the fumble recovery, San Antonio strike for a touchdown. Ashton Cedar, who has scrambled for over 100 yards in this game, breaking ankles, 35-yard scramble for a touchdown. Dreadnoughts lead 30-9. And with 4.5 left in this game, Salt Lake City find the end zone for the first time. Ross Goodman led the Pioneers down the field, handed it to Rico Gaddis from 4 yards out. He dives into the end zone. First touchdown of the game for the Pioneers, cuts this lead in half 30-16, but it may be too little too late. And now with 1.5 minutes left in this game after San Antonio had a field goal, Salt Lake City strike again for a second touchdown in the last few minutes. This one, a deep pass over the top from Goodman to Pierre Crowder. Burns the defender and takes it in for the touchdown. Salt Lake City showing life here late, but with only 1.5 minutes left, they trail by 10, 33-23. And Salt Lake City go for an onside kick and recover it. So with 1.5 minutes left, Salt Lake City trailing by 10. They get a touchdown and get the onside kick, and there Goodman hits Crowder again. They will run a hurry-up offense. Can Salt Lake City pull off this miracle with their backup quarterback, Goodman, back to pass, looking deep, nowhere to go, he'll scramble and get sacked. Minute to go in this one. 2nd and long for the Pioneers. Goodman from midfield, floats one, is picked off by Roy Feagles, and he's off to the races. Goodman and Gaddis giving chase. It's a pick 6 to ice the game for the phenomenal free safety Roy Feagles. Stepped in front of Goodman's pass there. No one around him, and he was gone. That should do it for this one. San Antonio Dreadnoughts come all the way out to Salt Lake City in this wild card playoff game and are gonna pick up the win. And that does it for us here in this first round playoff matchup in the United Division. San Antonio Dreadnoughts come to Salt Lake City and defeat the Pioneers. There was their opening touchdown in the first drive. Ashton Cedar scrambled for over 100 yards, including that 35-yard touchdown run. There's the pick 6 by Roy Feagles that put the game away. Crowder would find the end zone from the backup quarterback. Salt Lake City remains home. San Antonio moving on in the playoffs.
There you have it. Great game by San Antonio. They win that one easily, 40-23. Player of that game, Roy Feagles. Outstanding safety for the Dreadnoughts. Roy had 8 tackles, an interception, and a touchdown there on that pick six. So Dreadnoughts are moving on. Pioneers are going home. Congratulations to them. They had an outstanding season. Next up, our last playoff game in the first round, Oklahoma City Bisons and Toronto Huskies. Check it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second of the 2 wildcard playoff games here in the United Division of the World Football Alliance. This game we have Oklahoma City Bisons taking on the Toronto Huskies. Bisons getting pumped up down on the field here in Toronto, Canada for this World Football Alliance playoff matchup. Oh my goodness, second play from scrimmage to start this game after the opening kickoff. Oklahoma City quarterback Dalton Booth fires an absolute shot downfield. The receiver Gilbert runs underneath it for a long touchdown pass to open the scoring early in this one. 7-0 Bisons. Oh no, disaster for the Bisons. Outstanding play for the Huskies on their second possession after Toronto added a field goal on their first possession. Bisons drove down the field again inside the 10, looking for a second straight touchdown. Dalton Booth gets sacked, fumbles the football, recovered by the Huskies. Big defensive play to wake up this crowd. And a wild play here. Oklahoma City pick off the football following their fumble inside the red zone. But the defensive back who intercepted the football would then fumble the football when he was tackled. And now the booth is reviewing to see if he was down. Dobbins there, who made the interception, would get tackled while returning the interception and fumble the football. It was recovered, I believe, by Toronto. The booth will look at it and they'll say he was down. So Oklahoma City, after fumbling the ball inside their red zone, take it right back with an interception by Dobbins. Dalton Booth does it again here in the second quarter, this time 59 yards deep to Torber for the touchdown. Dalton Booth already over 200 yards passing in the first half alone. He is showing out. Bisons lead 20-3. Dalton Booth scrambling here. He's done that several times this drive. This time he fumbles the football. Luckily for the Bisons, is scooped up by Brazil. Look at that. Cunningham strips Booth. Brazil picks it up and gets it down to the 8-yard line. First and goal for the Bisons, leading 20-3. Booth takes a snap, fires to Unk underneath. You see 14 of 17, 310 yards and 2 touchdowns already in the first half for Dalton Booth. That was Unk's first catch, good for 6. Now second and goal from the 2. Booth will pass again. No, he'll scramble and he gets into the end zone for a rushing touchdown. What a first half for Dalton Booth and the Bisons, who now lead 27-3. And Toronto finally get on the board with a touchdown in the last minute of the first half. Decker hits Acho for the touchdown to make it 27-10, 40 seconds till halftime. And there it is. This Oklahoma City offense cannot be stopped today. Dalton Booth is on point. Another touchdown. They get the ball with only 30 seconds remaining in the half. Dalton Booth leads his team down the field, fires a strike right there to Torber for his second touchdown of the day. 20-second or so drive with 11 seconds remaining in the half. 4-play, 64-yard drive took 23 seconds. Bisons leading big going into the half, 34-10. And that takes us to halftime, 34-10. Bisons dominating, 354 passing yards in the first half for Dalton Booth. There's the second play of the game. He hit Gilbert deep. There's his first one to Torber. He hit deep, 60 or so yards. Dalton Booth would then scramble in for one. He would then hit Torber for a second with 11 seconds remaining in the half. Decker would hit Acho for the lone Huskies touchdown. But Dalton Booth the star in this one heading to the third quarter as the Bisons lead this playoff game on the road. And there's another Oklahoma City touchdown. Dalton Booth now over 400 yards. That's his fourth passing touchdown. He hits the fullback Unk out of the backfield for the touchdown as boos rain down from this Toronto crowd. Oklahoma City lead 41-10. All right, we jump ahead to the fourth quarter now. Toronto, first and goal from the 1. Handoff goes to Reynolds. He gets stopped short. Loss of 2. Tackle made by Garner. It'll be second and goal. Decker's under center, single back. Pump fake hands to Colston out of the backfield, who picks up those 2 yards back to get back to the 1 yard line. It will be third and goal from the 1 for the Huskies. They need this. They want any chance of getting back in this game, and Reynolds is stopped by the Oklahoma City defense. No gain. Pierre Lewis on the tackle. And Toronto will settle for a field goal to make it 41-13, 7.5 to play in the game. And there's a big play for the Huskies. After the field goal, they force an Oklahoma City punt. Decker hits Wagner there for a deep play to get him down inside the 5. Another chance here for the Huskies. 4:15 remain in this game. First and goal from the 4, pistol formation. Decker takes the snap, looks to pass. He'll scramble left. Looking downfield, and he gets dropped. Hale and another player got to him. That'll be second and goal now from the 7. 3:35 to play. Decker hands to Reynolds. He gets bottled up behind the 10. Third tackle for a loss there. Believe that was Pierre Louis. It was. Third and goal now from the 10. Toronto moving in the wrong direction. Tootin goes in motion, and it's a handoff for some reason to Reynolds. He picks up a few yards down to the 6. It'll be fourth and goal, and Toronto will settle for another field goal. You can pretty much push this one in the books, folks. And that does it for the first round of the World Football Alliance playoffs. The final game goes to the Oklahoma City Bison in dominating fashion. Dalton Booth had a career day, for the Oklahoma City Bisons. Just all around outstanding performance. Torber found the end zone twice. Gilbert had a phenomenal game. Domination by the Bisons. They move on in the World Football Alliance playoffs.
Huge win there by Oklahoma City, 44-16, blowing out the Huskies. Dalton Booth, the player of the game in that one, 24 of 28 passing, 445 yards, 4 passing touchdowns. He also scrambled for 66 yards and a rushing touchdown. Phenomenal game by him and the Bisons. So the Bisons and Dreadnoughts are moving on. The two teams that had a bye in the United Division were Austin Armadillos and London Monarchs. So let's see who those teams are going to face in the second round. And San Antonio Dreadnoughts will visit Austin to take on the Armadillos. And Oklahoma City Bisons will cross the pond to take on the London Monarchs. So there you have it. We are through the first round of the playoffs. 8 teams remain in the World Football Alliance playoffs. Stay tuned for second round playoff action. Thanks for tuning in. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, check out the United States Basketball Championship, and we have some more new shows coming at you soon. Be sure to stay tuned. Thanks. See you next time.